Hey guys, how are we going today? Hope we're having a lovely day. I'm back for another haul video, and today I'm doing my haul from the tea centre. I know it's not my regular kind of video. I know mainly I focus on, makeup and hair care, but this was one of my purchases, one of my hauls from the past few weeks, so I figured why not keep going. I'm going to film all of them anyway, so I'll just do this one as well. So I've gotten my little invoice here with all of my purchases on there. Let's jump right in. We've got, okay, great. So first thing I've gotten is another little tin. I do have quite a few of these already. I think I've got maybe 6. I know I've got 2, so this is the small size. This will be the 4th small one. I have 2 medium sized one, and actually I do have 1 big one, but that was from a different company. This one I've really only bought because with the few purchases that I have made, a couple of the teas I'm stocking up on that I already have, so I'm just going to refill the containers. A couple of the other containers and tins that I have are pretty much almost empty, so once they're emptied I'm going to put the different ones that I've bought to try in it. And I did want another one because it looks a little bit unbalanced at the moment. I have the big one, I have 2 medium ones, and I have 3 small ones, so I thought if I have 4 small ones they'll all stack really nicely. I can use the bigger tins for my absolute favorite ones that I repurchase every time, and then I can have my little ones for the ones that I don't drink all the time, or the ones that I'm just trying. So let's go through. I've got a full, well, not quite full box here of a few different teas. So one of the ones, the first one on top is the cream black tea. I pretty much didn't have much of a choice with this one. One of my favorite teas is actually the caramel tea, and it's been out of stock on the website for so long, and when I contacted the tea centre they said that they've discontinued it. So this one is the next closest thing. It's the black tea with caramel and vanilla. I'm not sure if I smelt this one the other day or not. Oh, it does smell so good. So it isn't exactly like the caramel one. You can definitely smell the vanilla in there as well, but I love vanilla. I love vanilla, I love caramel. I'm definitely happy to give this one a go. The caramel tea is actually one of the ones that I have in the bigger tin, or the medium sized tin. So if I like this one as much as the caramel one, once I finish the caramel one, is it empty? I think I might have one more, enough for one more cup of tea out of that. But once it's empty, I'll pop this one in here, in there, and if I like it as much as the caramel, I'll just keep rebuying this one. And the next 2 actually, I've bought the biggest sizes of. So this is the 50 gram bag, this is the 100 gram bag, and I bought these 2 because they are definite long time favorites of mine. The next one is the Earl Grey Blue Flower. So, it's a standard Earl Grey tea. It has bergamot, cornflowers, and mauve blossoms in here. It's just absolutely beautiful. I like my tea really strong. And this is, you smell it and it just smells like a really, really strong cup of tea anyway, or cup of Earl Grey tea anyway, but it's really good. I like a strong cup of tea, but the problem with leaving the tea leaves or the bag in for too long is it gets that really bitter taste from the tannins. So I absolutely love this one because it gives you that, that strong flavour without having to leave it in there for too long, or without having to put heaps of the tea in it. The next one is another absolute favourite of mine, and this was one of the first ones that I tried from the tea centre. And it's the Stockholm Blend. So it has black tea, orange, vanilla, apricot flavour, rose petals, safflowers, and calendula. And it's just absolutely beautiful. This one I know that it's called the Stockholm Blend, but they do also have it, you can get it with green tea and also with the rooibos, so the red tea. And it's basically all of the same additional ingredients. So, you know, the orange, vanilla, apricot, rose, all of those, but just with green tea instead of black, you know, the red tea instead of either of them. And I love all three of them. I've had this one before. I'm pretty sure this is the one I've got at the moment. I do also have the rooibos one as well. And when I finish off that one, I will probably buy it in the green tea as well. So it's kind of like, sometimes you feel like a cup of green tea, other times you feel like, you know, a black tea, but it's great having both of those options there. And I absolutely love, you know, both of these. So the Earl Grey Blue Flower and the Stockholm Blend, they're ones that I have repurchased multiple times, which is why I bought the bigger bags, because that way I will be able to get, you know, a lot longer out of them before I need to repurchase them. The next two are actually new ones that I wanted to try. I have a couple of other ones in my tins at the moment that I'm not 100% certain whether I like or not. I think they're fairly, like, they're okay. I'll happily drink them, but they're not ones that, you know, I'm like, I know it's a favorite. I know I reach for them. The caramel, the Earl Grey Blue Flower, and the Stockholm Blend, they're my absolute, you know, I want those. I want one of those. I want to grab one of those. But then I think to myself, no, I've got the other tins that, you know, I really should be drinking them. I really should be getting through them. And then once they're empty, I can go back to my regular favorites. But at the same time, sometimes I always just want a little something different. So the next two are a little bit different, but they're kind of things that I think I'll love. So the first one is the Cherry Blossom Green Tea. And this has green tea with cherry pieces and rose petals. And it smells absolutely beautiful. I think this was one of the ones that I opened before. Yeah, it smells beautiful. You can definitely smell the rose and the cherry in there. And I think that will be a really, you know, lovely one to try. And the next one is the Love Potion Black Tea. And this is black tea, rose petals, raspberry pieces, raspberry pieces dried frozen, white chocolate hearts in there. So there are white chocolate pieces in here. This one is fairly similar, but not the same as the Cherry Blossom, because it does have, you know, the rose petals in it. But this one, instead of cherry, has raspberry pieces and also the white chocolate, and it's black tea, whereas the other one's green tea. So they're kind of the flavor profiles that I do like, is, you know, ones that have a little bit of that florally kind, you know, with the Stockholm Blend. This one, as I mentioned before, that one's got rose petals in there as well, and vanilla. But that one has the orange flavor in there as well, so it gives it that little bit of a freshness. Whereas I think these two here, they will be, and, you know, even to an extent the cream one as well, they'll be the ones where, you know, when I don't want something refreshing and energizing, they'll be the ones where I can just sit down and have, you know, a cup of tea to relax. They'll be the nice and calming, you know, romantic kind of teas. So those are all of the teas that I had gotten. I'm just going to stick everything back in the box, and then I'll take that back out to the kitchen later. So that's everything in there. Now, I hope you like this one. Probably not, probably a bit different to all my last videos. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment down below. But until then, I'll see you next time.